Hi, this is Steve from YourCreativeLife.com, talking today about programs and fellowships, what writers need to know. Now, you may know from my bio, or I may have mentioned it here on these videos, that I am a graduate of the CBS Writers Mentoring Program, which was called that back in the day, is today the Paramount Writers Program. And I know the experience that I had going through that program and what it did and how it helped my career. So I want to talk a little bit about the importance of fellowships and these programs and what they are and how they work and what they ask for and all of those things in a deep dive today about programs and fellowships for writers. So the deal is, when I first moved to Los Angeles in 2010, I'd come from New York and I'd gone to playwriting school and I had an agent and I had a manager, and I showed up here in the world of Los Angeles and Hollywood, and I couldn't get arrested. That whole first year, even though I'd spent years flying in from New York to have meetings with people, that whole first year couldn't get a meeting with anybody, and it was a really bleak scene for me in terms of my work. I was working with my manager and agent around a new script that I was writing, and I was getting lots of notes on that script, but feeling like I was hitting a dead end in terms of the career. And one of my managers suggested that I think about these fellowships. And at first I was insulted. I was like, what are these fellowships? I've moved all this way and have quite a considerable amount of experience and scripts and mojo under my belt. And why should I bother with a program? What is the deal with that? And then I realized that, I was just kind of sitting around complaining, so I might as well give it a whirl. And here's what I discovered. I applied to a whole bunch of programs, many of which I had applied to before. And you can take a look and, scour the internet to find out what programs are out there, because there are all kinds. But at the time, I applied for Warner Brothers and the ABC Disney program and the NBC Writers on the Verge program and the CBS program and maybe some others I can't really recall. And the only one I got into was the CBS one, which is now the Paramount program. And the program really changed my life. So here's what these programs are. Many of them, and many of the ones that I applied for, are really about trying to get more diverse and interesting writers into the space of TV writing, which I think is a good thing for all of us. And there are programs that rely on and focus on diverse writers, and there are other programs that don't. So if you're out there and you don't consider yourself a diverse writer, there are programs out there for you. Warner Brothers program, for example, is one of those. But here's the deal. I learned so much in this program. I had been writing for years and I had scripts, and I was working on a script with some executives at CBS. And it was really amazing to get their notes. So I learned more about the notes process, more about my writing process. And most importantly, I learned about the industry and what the industry is looking for, because every week, after a while, after we got introduced to each other, and then we met some agents and we met some managers, and we met some alumni who could tell us a little bit about the program, is what we did in that back in the day. But then we met with executives and writers and producers and people who told us point blank what they were interested in terms of the industry. And in fact, we did mock showrunner interviews, and I learned how to interview for these jobs and what people are looking for and how to be and how to research, and so many of the things that I tell you about in the more than 100 videos that are on this YouTube page, I learned in that program. And I'm really happy to pass on to you and also to use and reuse today to help me with the mojo of my own career. So there was a ton to learn, and I'm really glad I did the program. The other thing is, because we met with executives, I then began to build a bridge to those people. Suddenly I knew those executives, and I could lean on them and reach out to them and talk to them when I got into the industry, and they could help guide my career and help me focus. And, if they were willing to read a script, all of those things were on the table. But more important than that was, for anybody out there who has a rep but still is thinking about these programs, it gave my reps a reason for the industry to see me in a new way, because suddenly my reps were able to say, hey, this guy was just in this program, give him a fresh look. Hey, Steve just came out of CBS. Why don't you read his latest spec? Or have you met with him lately? Or all those things. And so that became really helpful. So all of that is on the table for you if you decide to apply for the programs. You're going to learn about your writing, as I said. You're going to learn about the industry, learn about agents and managers, meet executives, TV writers, showrunners, all of those people, and find out what they're looking for in job in the, if they hire you in a writer's room, and you'll find out what that's all about. And those things are really helpful. We even did some mock writer's room stuff. So all of that is in play. And I think that if those things interest you, you should definitely apply for the programs. Now, here's the thing that I'm going to do in the second half of this video is to tell you about how you apply to these programs, what you need and what you need to think about in order to do just that. And I'm going to tell you all of those things in a subsequent video. So for now, think about the programs and fellowships. Know that it's definitely helped a ton of people, both diverse folks and non-diverse folks. And certainly, it's helped me in my writing career. And there's a lot to offer to you if you decide to apply and go that route. And I'm sure you'll learn a lot about yourself in the application process, which I'll talk about in the next video. So if you found this useful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel so that you get my videos, which come out every single week. And go to yourcreativelife.com, where you can find out about so many of my offerings, including my free monthly newsletter, my podcast, the Secret Writer podcast, which I do with my friend Nick Job, which you can find on any social media podcasting platform out there, where we talk about the writer's life and interview writers. It's a really good time. And you can also find out about how I can help you by going to yourcreativelife.com. So do that if that suits you. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.